Hello. Hey. Hi, everybody. Hi. Oh, thanks, Grant Byram. That's a nice thing to hear, that I'm the reason you love horror and thriller. Cool. All right, yeah. Today I'm editing the PG Psycho GOREMAN kill count that comes out this Friday. And then after that, back to weekly kill counts. I'm a little afraid. I feel like I'm not ready for that. I've been working on scripts and such, so we'll see. We'll see. But one thing at a time. Let's get this week's kill count done. I won't be able to get it completely done today. I actually still have to film some fun stuff for the To The Numbers bit, but I'll film that afterward. I'll get the bulk of the editing for this episode done today. So, all right, let's get to it. By the way, if you're new here to an editing live stream, it's just going to be me doing my work here, editing. And let's see, if I'm going to be sitting like this, I should probably adjust the camera a little bit. Such a narrow field there. That didn't really seem to do anything, did it? What if I do this? That's better, maybe. Let's do that. Oh, yeah, and if you haven't seen the trailer for the new Chucky series on Sci-Fi, thank you, Marcus Many Wounds. This is a Rode Procaster. If you haven't seen the trailer for the new Chucky series on Sci-Fi that comes out in October, check that out. It just came out today. 2-minute trailer. Great to hear Brad Dourif as Chucky again. So I'm very much looking forward to that. All right. Gonna get to the editing time now.
Welcome to the kill count. Welcome to the kill count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and
Where's the sound effect? I'm missing some sound effects here. How's everyone doing today? Chucky's your favorite horror movie, Matthew? That's cool. Are you excited about the series? 'Cause I am. I'm super excited for that story to be continued.
welcome to the kill count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at PG Psycho GOREMAN, a Canadian film from 2020. Psycho GOREMAN was written and directed by Stephen Kostansky of the film collective Astron 6. His previous films include the Lovecraftian The Void and the very enjoyable Little Shit requel Leprechaun Returns, both of which featured fantastic special effects, which is definitely the strength of Astron 6 productions. Psycho
Let's see. I just want to make sure all the spelling is right on these lower thirds. Cool. Darcy Baker, thank you. Please don't use super chats to request kill counts. Not fair to people who can't afford super chats.
Psycho GOREMAN is a continuation of that impressive practical work, with a ton of tactile creatures and violence that's an absolute delight to watch. The film combines horror, science fiction, and fantasy to deliver a loud, explosive feast of creative sights. The titular extraterrestrial terror, Psycho GOREMAN himself, is one of my favorite recent horror characters. I never get sick of his magma-looking blood vessels, his baritone sick of his I never get sick of his magma-looking blood vessels, his
Shit. That's why that was like that. Thanks, Dom Goblin.
I never get sick of his magma-looking blood vessels, his baritone bellowing, or his insatiable quest to end all life in the universe.
I wield powers unimaginable to your simple minds. Soon, you will beg me for mercy, but know that you will only receive pain.
The scenes featuring
I wield powers unimaginable to your simple minds. Soon, you will beg me for mercy, but know that you will only receive pain.
the scenes
Pain.
Huh, she like starts to talk, but we can't hear it, but it's kind of distracting.
the scenes
Receive pain.
the scenes
Let's see what I can do there. Wonder if Chucky will be more of a troll in the show. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt it to a series.
Only receive pain.
the scenes featuring
Receive pain.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Receive pain.
the scenes featuring him and his galactic The scenes featuring him.
I do one more, maybe?
The scenes featuring him and his galactic exploits are the highlights of the film, and his super exploits are the highlights of the film, and his super serious facade lends itself to a bunch of hilarious moments.
It was nice meeting you.
It would be nicer if you were dead.
Alright, bye. Bye.
We're dead.
Alright, bye.
Unfortunately, those fantastical scenes are about the only part
That
About
looked weird. What is this?
scenes are about the only part of Psycho Goreman I like. The film is just as much a comedy as it is anything else, and I'm not a fan of its sense of humor, which I can only describe as la random. Most of that comes from the lead human character, Mimi, a pint-sized prepubescent wannabe despot who belittles prepubescent.
Oh, thanks, Joe Baird. Baird, oh, good luck on your channel.
Pint-sized prepubescent wannabe despot who belittles everyone around her and screams everyone around her and screams her lines in wacky ways.
It's Crazy Ball!
Now, I want to be
It's Crazy Ball!
Hey, could we stop requesting kill counts, specifically Fear Street, but just basically all of them in general? If you want to see it, send a little email to deadmeatmovies@gmail.com. You know what y'all are going to make me do? Look at that. Look at that. You made me put a text thing up there. You made me put... Am I a fan of Conor McGregor? Oh, wait. I was thinking of Conor O'Malley. I don't know who Conor McGregor is. I'm a reluctant fan of Conor O'Malley now. I didn't like him when... Chelsea fucking loves Conor O'Malley. When she first showed me him, I was not a fan. He's too loud. But I can't not like him when he hangs out with my other favorite comedy boys. Like Joe Pera and Tim Robinson. I don't know if he's ever done anything with Nathan Fielder, but... Oh, kickboxer? No, I don't give a fuck about that guy.
wacky ways.
It's Crazy Ball!
Now, I want to be ways. In wacky ways.
It's Crazy Ball!
Now, I want to be clear right away. Actor Nita Josie Hanna is perfect at playing this part. She's doing a Josie Hanna is Actor Nita Josie Hanna is perfect at playing this part. Actor Nita Josie Hanna is perfect at playing this part. She's doing exactly what she was directed to do and giving it 1,000%, so good on her. But fuck, can I not stand Mimi? I don't find her funny, and I don't find her cute. She's just mean and annoying and drags down the movie, almost as much as her dad, whose defining trait is laziness, but who mostly comes across as that improv friend who can never turn it off. Between those two characters and some self-observing jokes, the movie is never sincere enough for me to fully enjoy. It's always commenting on itself and saying, gee, isn't this stuff crazy? Instead of just being a good time and letting its madness speak for itself. As always though, don't take my word as gospel. Humor is subjective and a lot of people...
Thank you, Claudio and Metal Mac. Metal Mac!
Humor is subjective and a lot of people really love this movie. Humor is subjective and a lot of people really love this movie. You might be one of them, so might as well give the thing a shot. Psycho Goreman is a pretty big problem for people on Earth, but not every problem comes in the form of an ancient evil alien. Sometimes your problem...
Alright, that's the sponsored thing, and that's not really that interesting, so I'll just skip that for now. BetterHelp. Cool, that looks good.
How much bloodshed can one intergalactic antagonist create? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie begins with a story crawl. It's backstory about Psycho Goreman that we'll learn about later. Right now, let's meet these kids playing motherfucking Crazy Ball.
Crazy Ball!
It's nonsense now. Let's meet the Right now, let's meet these kids playing motherfucking...
Ha! Baby Buffalo, you saw a TikTok on Psycho Goreman?
Kids playing motherfucking Crazy Ball.
Crazy ball!
Crazy Ball.
What up, cool kid? I'm doing good. How are you?
Fucking Crazy Ball.
Crazy ball!
It's
BetterHelp had a thing a few years ago, but they altered their terms or whatever, and now it was a thing where, like, I guess they were using unlicensed therapists, but now all of their therapists are licensed. And I would not have taken the sponsorship, but Chelsea uses BetterHelp and like vouches for it. So the fact that Chelsea actually uses it and it's, you know, she really likes it and it's helped her, I'm like, all right, well then in that case, I feel like I can comfortably use them as a sponsor and not feel like I'm doing anything wrong with that, you know?
Crazy ball!
It's like how fucking I'll see comments all the time of people being like, quit lying, you don't use Raycons. Dude, Chelsea and I use our Raycons every day. We literally have them in our ears every day using them. Like, fuck you. You don't know our lives. Get out of here. Hold up, Dead Meat Shorts.
It's nonsense in the mold of Calvin Ball, and while it's funny in close-ups with metal music, I think they used the joke of the awkward objective shot way too early.
Crazy ball! 1. Crazy ball! 2.
Especially since it gets
Can I get a little bit more of this awkward objective shot?
Crazy ball! 2. Crazy ball! 3.
Hey, Charlie Page, how's my weekend been? Good. We recorded D&D yesterday, our D&D podcast, and oh, see, editor Josh ordered Raycons. He'll let you know what he thinks of them. But we actually had some food yesterday for D&D, and it was fucking fondue, and it was so fucking good. I stood at that kitchen island eating all the melted cheese that my body could handle, man. I was dipping bread. I was dipping potatoes. I was dipping broccoli. I was dipping bratwurst. I was dipping pickles. I was dipping apples. I was dipping... Is there other stuff to dip in there? We dipped a whole lot and I ate it all. It was so fucking good. Was there other stuff that I was dipping? Well, I dipped at least that many things. And it was good.
Crazy ball! 3.
especially since it gets back into the speed metal right away. Psycho Goreman's music was
A weird shot there.
Psycho Goreman's
That was like a weird jump cut.
right away. Psycho Goreman's music was Psycho Goreman's music was composed by Blitz Berlin, who tailored the movie's tracks to different inspirations and styles.
The music of PG Psycho Goreman. Is that what that's called? PG Psycho Goreman. The music of PG. Is there, The music of Psycho Goreman. Is that? Can I dip Psycho Goreman? No, that would taste weird, dude. Psycho Goreman doesn't go good with cheese.
Goreman's music was composed by Blitz Berlin, who tailored the movie's tracks to different inspirations and styles. The Crazy Ball music, which makes me feel like I'm playing Killer Queen Black, is meant to evoke early 90s media like Power Rangers and the original TMNT movie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and... Oh, this is huge. Let's go down a little bit. DVD trailer. All right.
to evoke early 90s media like Power Rangers and the original TMNT movie. Younger sister Mimi wins the match, meaning older brother Luke has to dig his own dirt bed to be buried in. While digging, older brother Luke has to dig his own dirt bed to be buried in. While digging, he finds a glowing gem that Mimi takes for herself, causing a pink eruption to come from that brown hole. Whew, you never want one of those. The kids are put to bed to come from that brown hole. Causing a pink eruption to come from that brown hole. Whew, you never want one of those. The kids are put to bed by their parents Greg and Susan, who hate the shit out of each other. As they sleep and
Challenged Chelsea to Mario Golf. We played some Mario Golf. We bought it, and then we were like, we can't really get this down. And then Gressel played with us, our DM and D&D, also our housemate, and he like has actually golfed before and was explaining how golf works. And we were like, oh, this makes a lot more sense. You kind of have to go like they don't really hold your hand with Mario Golf. Like you kind of have to know what you're doing.
Shit out of each other. As they sleep, an ancient evil being punches its way out of the ground in their backyard. It makes its way.
Is that shot like that short? Yeah, I see.
It makes its way to an old shoe factory, where it comes across a trio of thieves and assimilates their language immediately.
A variation.
Factory, where it comes across a trio of thieves and assimilates their language immediately. Thieves and assimilates their language immediately.
A variation of the Aronian tongue. How primitive.
The being slaps aside.
Oh, what was that weird jump cut? Whoa. What? What is going on there? That's a weird... I don't know what's happening there. Huh. That frame seems really weird. I think that's just part of the movie, though. Is that just their hand? Huh.
The being slaps aside the ringleader and pulls the others towards him with space powers. After calling them weak, he rips off both their heads. Holy shit, dude! This son of a bitch is awesome! But this colorful weak... Calling them weak, he rips off both their heads. Holy shit, dude! This son of a bitch is awesome! But this color...
I don't really watch tokusatsu. I learned about it a little bit researching for this movie, but no, I don't really watch it at all.
But this colorful being isn't a one-size-fits-all tormentor.
I don't want to die. Then live forever.
And he laughs all tormentor.
I don't want to die. Then live.
That audio seems abrupt. Can we do this?
Then live.
Yeah, that helps.
I don't want to die. Then live forever.
And he laughs as he grants the lead thief his wish to remain alive. The next morning, after seeing that something crawled out of their hole, Mimi violently makes Luke agree to go look for whatever it was later. And bring your friend Alistair too, Luke, because Mimi likes that kid in a weird, aggressive way.
Hey, cutie. You look good in your little outfit there. Why don't you give us a spin, hunky boy? No thanks.
Ha, that darn Mimi. She's so wild and wacky, right? That night, the kids track the claw marks and footprints from their backyard all the way to the old shoe factory. They discover the head thief gagging in stasis and a bunch of body part art, both of which
Oh, thanks, Kiara. Damn, thank you so much.
Gagging in stasis and a bunch of body part art. Gagging in stasis.
Hi, Ronnie Pridgett. Asking hi like a question, as though you don't know if that's a proper thing to say. Saying hi is always a proper thing to say, except for when you're leaving. Don't do it then, you'll just confuse whoever you're talking to.
Gagging in stasis and a bunch of body part art, both of which portend the main man of the hour, who shows up promising to kill them both nice and quickly.
Know that in the sweet release of death You will be spared the sight of your planet being torn to pieces.
Mimi yells
Josh, you in here?
quickly.
Know that in the sweet release of death, you will be
Thanks, Sage D. Sage D, thank you. What's my favorite kill count I've ever made, Nora? I have a playlist of some of my favorites that you can find on the Dead Meat channel. I'd say Bloody Birthday is way up there. You're always lurking, Josh. You've been, so far in this kill count, I don't know if it was you or Bree, but whichever one of you has been trimming the ends of sound ups, you've been doing a lot better. Because before there'd be a lot of just tail on it that I'd have to trim. Not as much tail. It's a good job.
Listening to kill them both nice and quickly.
know that in the
Will Murphy, what's the difference between a rundown bus stop and a lobster with boobs? One's a crusty bus station, and the other's a busty crustacean. I like that. I like that, Will Murphy. That's fun.
torn to pieces.
Mimi yells back at the being, since she has no respect or fear, and strangely enough, it obeys since she has no respect or fear, and strangely enough, it obeys her when she tells it to let Luke go, all because of that glowing space rock.
The gem of Paraxidike.
Oh, never mind. A lot of tail on this one.
Paraxidike.
That glowing space rock.
The gem of Paraxidike.
Glowing space rock.
The gem of Paraxidike.
All because of that glowing space rock.
The gem of Paraxidike.
Yeah, glowing space rock.
Thanks, Travis Cummings. Thanks so much for that dono.
Glowing space rock.
The gem of Paraxidike.
Yeah, glowing space rock. Because of that glowing space rock.
The gem of Paraxidike.
Yeah, glowing space rock, gem of Paraxitax, whatever. The gem grants Mimi control over this guy, who's forced to obey her every command. He warns her that he'll kill her as soon as he's able to, a fate that befalls the frozen thief after Luke bumps into him, and he smashes apart. Haha, yeah!
He was my masterpiece.
Fuck yeah!
Thanks, Dead Meat Shorts. Oh, buddy. No need to send me a donation. Planning to send me something if I can get it. Interesting. I'm intrigued.
Bumps into him, and he smashes apart. Haha, yeah!
He was my
Oh, and I'll send you tonight. I'll send you the trailer so you can post it tomorrow for this kill count, please. Thank you.
Haha, yeah!
He was my masterpiece.
Fuck yeah! Haha, yeah!
He was my
Haha, yeah!
He was my masterpiece. Masterpiece.
Fuck yeah, he was.
My masterpiece.
Fuck yeah, he was, dude. Actually, that was a masterpiece of the film's effects artist, like Mike Hamilton and the Toronto-based studio Masters Effects, headed by Todd Masters. Excellent work here, and there is plenty more to come. The angry evil being says he has no name.
I'm appreciated from Australia. Thank you, Charlie York. Oh, and thank you, Antonin Ventura. Australia is high on our list of places that we would like to visit sometime.
The angry evil being says he has no name, but goes by a kick-ass moniker.
The Archduke of Nightmares.
That's not good enough.
Of Nightmares.
That's not good.
Of night.
I didn't see the Chucky panel. How it revealed? I did see the trailer. I didn't see the whole panel. I'd like to watch the panel. Who was there for it? gameplay.
Nightmares.
That's not good enough for Mimi, though, and after a
Nightmares.
That's not good enough for Mimi, though, and after a pretty bad brainstorming sesh, she lands on something titular.
Psycho Goreman!
Qu'est-ce que c'est? This is the film. She lands on something titular.
Psycho Goreman!
Qu'est-ce que c'est? This is the film launching into its premise, and it has a solid start.
I'm Mimi.
And I'm
Robert Allen, you just found out Nicolas Cage is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. Yep. He's a nepotism boy. Which, I mean, you know, you can't help who you're related to. And I think Nick Cage definitely made his own way. His own unique way. Thanks, Anton, and again. Oh, from Switzerland. Hell yeah. Capital Bern, right? B-E-R-N?
It has a solid start.
I'm Mimi.
And I'm Luke.
I wield powers unimaginable to your simple minds. To your simple minds.
Psycho
To your simple minds.
Goreman.
To your simple minds.
Psycho Goreman.
What do you mean there's no capital to Switzerland? I call bullshit. Thanks, Izzy from Wisconsin, capital Madison.
Imaginable to your simple minds.
Psycho Goreman's performance.
Simple minds.
Psycho Goreman.
Oh. Hi, Chris Flynn from Serbia, capital Belgrade?
Simple minds.
Psycho Goreman's performance.
To your simple minds.
Psycho Goreman's performance and look are great. He was designed by Steven Kostansky, who did all of the creature designs, in addition to writing, directing, producing, and editing the movie. That is a lot. Great. He was designed by Steven Kostansky, who did all of the creature designs, in addition to writing, directing, producing, and editing the movie. That is a lot for one person to do. Probably too much.
I think I probably have a better take of probably too much.
For one person. Probably too. Probably too much. Probably too much. Kostansky.
Thanks, the Mad Cave. Oh, where we got shut down at Texas Frightmare? Yeah, we'll have an actual table this year, so at least we won't get shut down then.
Person to do. Probably too much. Kostansky does. Person to do. Probably too. That is a lot for one person to do. Probably too much. Kostansky designed. That is a lot for one person to do. Probably too much. Kostansky designed PG to look like a toy he'd want to buy. To look like a Kostansky designed PG to look like a toy he'd want to buy as a kid. Mission accomplished, bro. He reminds me of Vac-Man, arch nemesis of Stretch Armstrong. On the performance side, PG's fantastic voice acting comes courtesy of Stephen Vlahos. But the much more intensive part of this portrayal was done by Matthew Ninabar. He'd arrive on set
Nina Bear. Fuck.
by Matthew Ninabar.
Fuck. Hey, Josh, you want to do me a favor and find out how this guy's name is said?
Portrayal was done by Matthew Ninabar. He'd arrive on set hours before anyone else in order to be transformed into the character. Though the end result looks amazing, it was tantamount to torture, both physically and psychologically.
After about 5 minutes, I was fairly certain I was going to hyperventilate.
That's because
Oh, that was her saying that about the costume? Shit. I thought that was him. I gotta be more specific in my notes.
After about 5 minutes, I was fairly certain I was going to hyperventilate.
that's
Shit.
end result looks amazing, it was tantamount to torture, both physically and psychologically.
After about
Well,
That's because
I guess I can just lose that sound up and it should be fine.
torture, both physically and psychologically. That's because the suit's
Yeah, that should be fine.
to torture, both physically and psychologically. That's because the suit's prosthetic pieces were glued to his body, preventing him from sweating and cooling himself down.
It just cooks you.
To cope with the long himself down.
It just cooks you.
Down.
Cooks you.
Sweating and cooling himself down.
It just cooks you.
To cope with the long hours, Ninabar would zone out in between takes and try not to think of how much longer he'd have to endure this hell.
That suit almost broke me.
Mimi used
It almost broke me.
Mimi used to endure this hell.
That suit almost broke me.
Mimi used this hell.
That suit.
That suit almost broke him.
Hell.
That suit.
Hell.
That suit almost broke me.
Mimi uses her powers to make PG take a seat, then leaves him overnight, grounded under her control. She's thrilled that
Yeah, I've been waiting for a Scream trailer too, Matt Mamba. We should be getting a trailer for the new Scream movie soon if it's still coming out in January. Last I heard it was coming out in January, but I don't know. I want to know more about it.
control. She's thrilled to have a new plaything, even though Luke's worried about all the murder and world-rendering rhetoric. As he should be. PG is an intergalactic menace. We learn this when the movie transports us to his home planet of Gygax. Inside a stormy tower, the Gygax Council frets about PG's awakening on Earth. Once again, Kostansky's creature design is a delight. I especially like Tube Man, a puppet who never talks. Unlike the verbose Cortex, played by fellow Astron 6 member Matthew Kennedy. Cortex and the others talk a whole lot, with dialogue that's obtuse and bureaucratic.
It's clear that the rules of the Gygaxian Unity Accords have failed us.
It's an intentional nod to George Lucas's bewildering screenplays for the Star Wars prequels.
You're impressed with what you're seeing, but you're also maybe a little confused by the dialogue that's happening.
The Council's leader is Pandora, a Templar who doesn't want to risk justice when it comes to PG.
The only verdict is for him to die by my hand.
Pandora is to PG.
The only
To PG.
The only verdict is for him to die by my hand.
Yeah, I really like the alien designs too, Bernie. Drake, you should probably watch the Dead Meat podcast because we have an interview with Spencer from Ice Nine Kills.
By my hand.
Pandora is a force for sanctimonious lawful good, which is reflected in her leitmotif by Blitz.
Nineveh? Josh, am I saying that right? Nineveh?
Sanctimonious lawful good, which is reflected in her leitmotif
Thanks.
by Blitz Berlin.
So angelic that it's like horrifying how angelic it is.
She's the kind of Blitz Berlin.
So
Motif by Blitz Berlin.
so angelic that it's like horrifying.
By Blitz Berlin.
So angelic that it's like horrifying how angelic it is.
She's the kind of good who's so rigid it starts kind of good. Who's so rigid it starts to become evil, exemplified when she summons a human to examine Earth's native species.
Don't be afraid.
Well, I guess she native species.
Don't be afraid. Don't be
Earth's native species.
I see someone asking the same question over and over in the chat. Please stop that.
Earth's native species.
Don't be afraid.
Well, I guess she Earth's native species.
Don't be afraid.
Well, I guess she can't be afraid, can she, Pandora? Because she's a meat cube now. And meat cubes don't have fear. But boy, do they taste good. All the protein you need to become a human. The next day, the kids take Alistair to meet PG. Take Alistair to meet PG. They bring a CRT TV, which
Meat cube.
Kids take Alistair to meet PG. They bring a CRT TV, which, along with the lack of cell phones and an earlier discussion about an N64 game, are our indications that this movie takes place in the 90s. That feeds into the nostalgia factor Kostansky was going for. In addition to the TV, Mimi also brings PG magazines.
Look at all the hunky boys.
I do not care for
Magazines.
Look at all the
I've not seen Old. I am mildly curious about it.
PG magazines.
Look at all the hunky boys.
I do not
Binging with Babish Meat Cube.
care for hunky boys. Or do I?
Ha! We stand by Curious King. At Luke's inquiry and Mimi's command, PG sits down to tell them his backstory. He was born before time on the planet of Gygax, where he and his race were enslaved by the ruthless Templars. The Templars forced them to build their pyramid shrines, until one day PG came across the gem of peroxide. It gave him the power to liberate his people with glowy eyes, and I'll kill count.
What up, Christina? Oh, look at that. That's a FAQ that I can pin.
Glowy eyes, and I'll kill count 7 Templars that he's standing atop in a heap here, as well as this 8th one whose head gets decimated with a punch! Flames of awesomeness! With his powers, PG took control of Gygax, then traveled to other planets to kill indiscriminately. I'll count a whopping 55 kills here as PG goes about his goal of killing every living thing in the universe. Sure, 50 of them are these background bodies on stakes, but they're still countable, you know, kinda. To stop this destruction, other planets.
I guess I'll put this graphic here because he's killing a guy in that clip.
To kill other planets to kill indiscriminately. I'll count a whopping 55 kills here as PG goes about his goal of killing every living thing in the universe. Sure, 50 of them are these background bodies on stakes, but they're still countable, you know, kinda. To stop this destructive force, the Templars imprisoned PG with the gem of Pericles. He stayed in this Terran prison cell until he was released by these idiot kids. The flashback story segment is my favorite sequence of the movie due to its extensive use of green screen, stop motion, and miniatures. I'm always impressed by detailed miniatures like these, which were shot by cinematographers Andre Appel and Pierce Dirks. It's so fucking cool how you
Andrew.
Photographers Andre Appel and Pierce Dirks. It's so fucking cool how you can make these creations look like a stormy planet with simple tricks like the use of a spritz bottle. These practical effects, which were mostly done in Kostansky's workshop, evoke his earlier film Manborg, which took him 3 years to make. After Mimi and the boys leave for the night, PG tunes the TV to channel Blood 01. This puts him in contact with his loyal generals, whom he tells to come to Earth and kill the kids. Luke has Alistair over for a microwave chicken dinner prepared by their ruthlessly inept father.
Hello, Sierra Sanders.
Dinner.
Up 81-3. Are there any other kill counts that I canceled? I think the only one is... Well, it depends on what you mean canceled. Hashtag canceled. Peninsula is the kill count that came the closest to being made and then wasn't made. That script was just about ready to shoot when the Train to Busan stuff happened. And so I didn't shoot it, but the script is all done, which sucks because getting the script ready is the biggest time commitment on my part. My editing has really been narrowed down thanks to wonderful editors like Bree and Josh. But the writing process is still 100% done by me, and the entire writing process, all combined, takes about, God, I don't know, at least like 15 to 20 hours, depending on the movie. Maybe more when you factor in the research. But that's the bulk of my time. So it was like, cool, I already spent all that time on Peninsula, and then the reason we didn't make the Peninsula kill count is because it's owned by the same people who own Train to Busan. So if Train to Busan got copyright struck, they'd probably do the same with Peninsula. So that really fucking sucks. Why am I cutting some parts out where I'm just speaking? I don't know what you mean, Gerard.
Microwave chicken dinner prepared by their ruthlessly inept
I have not seen the Forever Purge yet, so I don't have an opinion on it yet.
microwave chicken dinner prepared by their ruthlessly inept father. Greg is my least favorite character of the film, but he does the film.
You know what? Before it gets too late, I want to go have one last cup of coffee. Before it gets too late, and then I'm drinking coffee at 6, and then I'm laying in bed like at night, just being like, oh, I fucking can't sleep. So let me just have one last cup of coffee. I swear, Mom, it's my last one for the day, and I'll be right back. 1 second. Yeah, Kelly, I am looking at those comments. That's why I responded to like 5 in the past 5 minutes. All right. Coffee time.
Of the film, but he does get a funny line in here.
Back when I was in the Army, we used to play.
He does get a funny line in here.
Back when I was in the Army, we used to play guns all the time. Except it was called the Iraq War, and you played for keeps. And you played for keeps.
The rest of his lines feel more like an actor trying to be funny than an actual person who is funny. Like, he'd work as a character in a 3-minute Britannic video, but not in a feature-length film. Greg was written specifically for actor Adam Brooks, who co-founded Astron 6 with Jeremy Gillespie in 2007. Kostansky and Brooks describe Greg as charming and pathetic, which is an assessment I sadly only half agree with. Shunned by Alistair and Luke wanting to play without her, Mimi and Luke Shunned by Alistair and Luke wanting to play without her, Mimi uses her Jemmy to call for a friendie, and eventually PG arrives. Mimi asks him to, quote, make Alistair less of a dork, and PG's idea of granting that wish is to turn Alistair into a giant brain with googly eyes. Susan and the cowardly Greg wind up Susan and the cowardly Greg wind up outside, and though PG promises to one day murder them with the hatred of 1,000 suns, at the moment, Mimi is still in control, and she promises her parents that he's really a big softie.
Don't worry.
Be worried.
Have I played any games recently? I mean, just a lot of fucking Sea of Thieves. Last night, me, Mike, and James chats were like, all right, let's play for an hour and a half, 2 hour tops. All right, we'll log in. We'll just do one fort, and then we'll get out of there. Of course, that turned into a 4.5 hour session, during which we fucking owned the whole fucking server, dude. We never sank once. We sank like 8 fucking player ships. We did a fucking Ashen Winds. We did a fucking Skelly Fleet. We did a motherfucking Flameheart. We did so much. We cashed in $700,000 worth of fucking loot. It was dope. We were about to head to a Fort of Fortune when we got server merged, dude. We were like 2 squares away from a fucking Fort of Fortune. And it server merged and got rid of it. I was so mad.
Softie.
Don't worry.
Be worried.
Softie.
Don't worry.
Be worried.
It was big softie.
Don't worry.
Be worried.
So I've played that. Oh, and then Chelsea and I are playing Yoshi's Crafted World, which we got, and it was really, thank you, Christina and Tunes, by the way. It's so sad that some human beings have such sad lives that this is the thing that they choose to spend their very limited time on Earth doing. It's, my heart weeps that an existence can be so meaningless and pathetic that they take the small amount of time that they're on this planet, full of wonders everywhere, with infinite knowledge at your fingertips, thanks to the internet. And they choose to troll a editing live stream on YouTube. How sad is that? That's so sad.
Softie.
Don't worry.
Be worried.
Softie.
Don't worry.
Be worried.
If we really want to soften PG up, we're gonna need a montage to the most cringeworthy song I've ever heard. Oof. I get what they're going. Oof. I get what they're. Oof. I get what they're going. Oof. I get what they're.
Yeah, I hate this fucking song.
Oof. I get what they're going for, but hearing heckin' and frig you over and over is just not my sense of humor. I hate it's just not my sense of humor. I hate cutesy cuss subs. Just say fuck. It's not. Just say fuck. It's not all bad though. I get a good laugh out of PG killing a heckling kid by blowing her up with his alien mind bullets. After well-worn jokes and Disney Channel style head peeking, the Try Too Hard trio has a fried food break. And let me tell you, those Gygax know how to eat. PG takes special note of Mimi's continued
Hey, Ricky. No, that's not weird. I've been doing this long enough that I know that people are growing up while watching the videos.
He takes special note of Mimi's continued assholery towards Luke, and in an effort to divorce her from the gem, he attempts to exploit Luke's unhappiness by visiting him in a dream. I love the shot of Luke waking up in his bed in a cemetery as a direct homage to a similar shot in Phantasm. And I love that the reference is underlined when PG makes his entrance.
Boy.
That is his entrance.
Boy. Boy.
And the hickey bells. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He makes his entrance.
Boy.
That is a tall man boy to a T, or B.
Boy.
Boy! To a T.
It just sounds like that Billy Idol song. In the midnight hours, go. Thank you, Moser family and DJ Gule.
Boy to a T, or B.
Boy.
B. Or B.
Boy.
B.
Boy.
Boy! Or B.
Boy.
Boy!
And then I'm going to record.
Gonna record. Boy! That's maybe a little too deep. Boy! Ooh, that's pretty good. Boy! Yeah, let's do that. Alright, I'm gonna record that. I cannot record because one of the record-enabled tracks is turned off in the timeline. Fuck you. Oh, it's muted. I see. Okay. Nope. Alright. What about this one?
First, don't breathe, which we'll see next week. Be good people.
Boy! 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 Alright. Boy!
Oh, that's a good one.
Boy!
So where's that? That would be. It is catchy, but it's only because it sounds like a fucking Billy Idol song.
Boy!
I think that's the winner right there.
Boy.
Boy!
PG. Or B.
Boy.
Boy!
PG tells Luke.
Might want to make this ring out a little more. Thanks, Dirt Mang. You know, maybe DB and CM Punk could make me watch A&W. I just don't have the time.
Boy!
PG tells Luke.
Bada boo, blow blow blow.
Boy!
PG tells Luke to steal the gem from Mimi because she's a little fucking monster who treats him like shit.
How long? How long before she puts her life before yours?
This is shit.
How long before she puts her life before yours.
Shit.
How long before she puts her life before yours?
This is the closest the plot comes to being interesting, in my opinion, but I don't think there's ever any satisfactory payoff. I do enjoy the ending to this sequence, though, with its long, awkward silence while zombies wriggle around in the dirt. Mimi tries to teach PG the rules of Crazy Ball, but since it takes a whole montage to explain, they're barely finished when the 5-0 arrives, and barely finished when the 5-0 arrives, and finished when the 5-0 arrives, and PG hates 5-0. Arrives, and PG hates 5-0. He grabs Officer Vince and fuses to him like a Cronenberg, and his blast of ancient galactic truths is enough to turn the cop into a melty-moany mess. He sounds like that Batman YTMND. PG.
Oh man, I fucking love hearing that, but I think I'm gonna let that reference go without depicting it and just hope that's for the people who know.
Batman YTMND. PG sends.
I think that'll just be for the people who know. That fucking no. Chuckarone, chuckarone. Thanks, Ricky. Oh my god, so many people yelling no about me, what, deleting that?
To a melty-moany mess. He sounds like that Batman YTMND. PG. YTMND. Sounds like that Batman YTMND.
Oops. This is too large.
He sounds like that Batman YTMND. PG sends the other cop to spread word of his presence, while his partner is left being a sorry son of a shambler. He doesn't like it. This character is actually BioCop, the subject of a fake movie trailer made by Kostansky back in 2011.
I mean, I didn't need to put BioCop in the movie, but I had to put BioCop in the movie.
The BioCop trailer was included on the DVD of Manborg, and the guy who played BioCop then, Robert Homer, reprised the role here nearly a decade later. I thought that was really cool. At the police station, Officer Dennis is relaying his brush with the Archduke of Nightmares when Pandora arrives in her brand new human form. She extracts the her brand
new... I didn't think you would keep it. Dude, I wasn't gonna keep it. And then all these fucking people in the chat room started yelling at me to keep it. So good job, dude. You won the people over. I love how like you thought I wasn't gonna keep it, but you did it anyway. How much research do I put into each kill count, Julia? I put a lot of research. Obviously, I watch all the Blu-ray special features. I try to go through the IMDb's of the entire cast to see if there's things I should know them from or if they've been in other things I've covered. I have our executive assistant, Veronica, do research of articles and videos outside of the Blu-ray special features, so I'm not just drawing everything from a single source. And I try to consolidate all of that into the script. But, it varies for each movie. For instance, I'm trying to think of one. Like, Cooties didn't have a ton of stuff, especially outside the Blu-ray. Whereas, when you do something like The Shining, there are whole feature-length documentaries about the making of, and you have to really choose and pick what you want to include. Like, I remember Rec 2 and 3 had very extensive behind-the-scenes stuff, and I had to, I think with those 2 kill counts, I went a little bit overboard, but...
Nightmares when Pandora arrives in her brand new human form. When Pandora arrives in her brand new human form, she extracts the info she needs from the police officer's head, and considering her track record with humans, I'm gonna assume this kills the man, even though we cut away before it can be confirmed. A minor dispute in the woods leads Mimi to ordering Luke's death at the hands of PG, and though she calls it off, this was just a power is power kind of moment, it's worrisome enough for Luke to begin considering PG's dream overture. A bunch of Luke to begin considering PG's moment, it's worrisome enough for Luke to begin considering PG's dream overture. A bunch of lightning strikes touch down in front of them, each transporting a new fanciful being. These are PG's loyal generals, the Paladins Obsidian, and he's called them here to kill the kids and finally set him free. To his dismay, they instead laugh in his face and say that things are much better without him in charge.
We take turns as the appointed leader, so everyone gets a fair chance. As you can see, it is currently my turn.
The Paladins...
I love that.
As you can see, it is currently my turn.
The Paladins
It is currently my turn.
The Paladins...
Thanks, the average fan. No, there won't be any wedding video to the channel. That's our private life.
It is currently my turn.
The Paladins Obsidian are another kick-ass part of Psycho Goreman. Their specific and unique character designs remind me of Venture Brothers, where idiosyncratic characters are sometimes constructed out of a single joke, like this robot pirate Cassius 3000, who's played by Astron 6 member Connor Sweeney, or their leader Darkscream, who looks like he'd eat a hobbit, or, you know, at least their legs. They don't need those. Or this Mr.
Oh, wait, I wanted to do like a push-in on this. Chuck and roll. Oh, Christina, what'd you think? I didn't realize that you hadn't seen what is probably the greatest film series of all time.
Boy! Boy!
PG...
Boy! Boy! Boy!
PG tells Luke to...
James, why don't you get an editor? Well, I have 3 of them. I have lots of people who help make these videos, but, you know, the thing about kill counts is they're such damn good videos, they take a team of people to make. And after they do their work, I just get my little grubby fingers in there, and I just make sure that everything is just down to the fucking frame exactly how I want it, so...
At least their legs. They don't need... You know, at least their legs. They don't need those. Or this Mr. Bucket-looking bastard, who's named Death Trapper. His backstory is that he collects bodies from the battlefield and melts them down to shoot out of his arm cannons. He's battlefield and melts them down to shoot out of his arm cannons.
Oh yeah, Christina, you doing theatrical or extended on Lord of the Rings for your first time through?
He's voiced by Rich Evans of Red Letter Media, which Kostansky is a big fan of. Mimi.
Which one is Rich Evans? Oh, this guy?
He's voiced by Rich Evans of Red Letter Media, which Kostansky is a big fan of. Mimi.
The Batman thing used to be your dad's ringtone? That's hilarious.
mad that PG was trying to kill them, orders him not to defend himself against the slow-motion ass beating. I hate that they reused two jokes in this scene, both of which are more of the movie commenting on itself.
How long is this gonna go on for?
Luke just asked that during the Phantasm Dream scene. They also reused the awkward objective shot they did in the beginning with Crazy Ball. I wish
How long is this?
scene. They also reused the awkward objective shot.
The awkward objective shot joke would be more clear, I think. Do-do-do-do, skibba-dabba-doo-ba-doo, skibba-dabba-doop-doop-doop-doop.
With Crazy Ball. Beginning with Crazy Ball. Crazy Ball. I wish this movie's humor was a little less obvious, but at the same time, this scene is a triumph of practical effects. Getting all the practical effects.
How much, like, hard drive space does it take up? I don't know.
Of practical effects. Getting all these. This scene is a triumph of practical effects. Getting all these costumes and effects to work properly is not an easy thing to do, especially with a low budget. Fight choreographer Alex Chung, who also plays the lead paladin, Darkscream, put a ton of work into making sure everything ran smoothly the day of the shoot. In fact, they did pre-visualization for the entire fight first, mapping out each individual shot to know how it all fit together. Chung specifically requested they work in a so-called Guyver kick, named after the Guyver films, which served as an inspiration for Psycho Goreman. Kostansky loved how Guyver 2 was like an R-rated Power Rangers, and he sought to recreate that tokusatsu style here, thus all the sparks accompanying sword strikes. After Mimi wrings an apology out of PG, she lets him get up and give my graphics creator something to do. First, PG quickly murders Death Trapper with a single Archdukean punch. As the kids watch with detached snack eating, this Witchmaster lady uses her staff to tear off PG's head. Hell yeah! But it unsevers itself in no time, and PG shows her how it's supposed to be done by making her body disappear and leaving her as just a head. PG stabs Vince the cop in the eyes with the Witchmaster's broken staff, finally putting him out of his misery. Nice little gift, since it turns out it was the poor dude's birthday. PG then turns to the Medusa-like Queen Obelisk and rips out the rose she has for a heart. That's enough to make her blow up into masonry bits. And for to the Medusa-like Queen Obelisk and rips out
Obelisk, not obelisk.
the rose she has for a heart. That's enough to make her blow up into masonry bits. And for Cassius 3000, PG uses a pool of eternal darkness to make the android pilot realize some universal...
Make the android...
To make the android pilot realize...
Did I say pilot? That should be pirate. Do I have a different take of that?
To make the android pilot realize...
Pilot.
Eating him whole with his... turns to the Medusa-like Queen Obelisk to make the android pilot realize...
I said pilot there too, what the fuck?
Some universal truths. Then a hand reaches out of...
Whoops.
The android pilot realized some universal truths.
That's some ADR.
Eternal darkness to make the android pilot realize...
Cassius 3000 was in the Air Force. It's okay. Thank you, Midnight Marauder, for making sure that I'm okay.
Realize some universal truths. Then a hand reaches out of it and rips the guy's face off. Love those googly eyes. Darkscream is saved for last, and PG gives him a warrior's death, which in Gygax terms means eating him whole with his giant expansive mouth. Yo, I thought this was sci-fi horror, not sci-fi gore. After the battle, PG finds himself weakened.
I'm dying.
What?
PG finds himself weakened.
I'm dying.
What? Turns out the pal PG finds himself weakened.
I'm dying.
What? Turns out the
Thank you, Andrew. Tell your girlfriend I said hi.
Turns out the paladins used cursed weapons, and now PG's losing Pepto-Bismol fast. He sends a screaming telegram to Greg on the shitter, yelling that he needs help and giving him directions where to go. It's an extended bit that goes on for way too long, just like the argument Greg and Susan had in the scene right before this one. They were fighting over Greg's laziness, which is just too over the top for me to find funny.
Oh yeah, I bought a new TV. In other news, I'm gonna take a new TV. Oh yeah, I bought a new TV. In other news, I'm gonna take a couple weeks off work till my hand can heal completely. So you might want to pick up a few extra shifts at the pharmacy.
Hey, Greg.
The pharmacy.
That's not real human behavior. Greg helps pick up PG, and on the way back home, runs over the Witchmaster's head as it's rolling down the road, finally putting her on the kill count. When they get home, they find Susan waiting with Pandora, and the back home runs over the Witchmaster's head as it's rolling down the road.
Have I ever been into a big city, Landon? I live in LA. It's a pretty big city. I've been to, I've only been to New York once, actually. I was a freshman in high school. In a Mexico City, that's, is that the second biggest city in North America after New York? Biggest cities in North America. It's the first biggest city in North America. Whoa. Oh, and I've been to Toronto, too, for SummerSlam. And I've been to Chicago. I've been to Houston. Not Havana. So I've been to the 6 biggest cities in North America. Havana's next, baby.
On the kill count. When they get home, they find Susan waiting with Pandora, and the battle lines are drawn between good and evil. Since Mimi friggin' sucks, Luke hightails it to the Templar side. But because their parents hate each other so much, Greg decides to spite Susan. He sides with Mimi and PG, and they all drive off together to the old shoe mill. There, Mimi wraps PG up in her finest cow print blankie. What would that be, a babushka? The movie grinds to a halt with 2 painfully unfunny scenes. One wherein Greg tells a childhood story, and another where Mimi pretends to pray only to break a crucifix in the name of Psycho Goreman. Back at home, Pandora reverts to her natural form and invites Susan to become like her by drinking a little Templar tonic.
It's time for you to stand beside me and...
Did I watch Money in the Bank, Caitlin? I did. I thought it was a pretty damn good show.
Little Templar tonic.
It's time for you to stand beside
Templar tonic.
It's time for you to stand beside me and right the wrongs of this universe.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that.
Pandora busts into the shoe factory, followed by Susan in her new metallic getup, followed by shoe factory, followed by Susan in her new metallic getup. Luke's here too, and he's got the gem. Cool. Now let's everybody pair up so we can get through the climactic fight scene, okay? All 3 of the lady combatants gain their respective upper hands, but PG invokes some ancient rules, and the quarrel comes down to a game of crazy ball. In Mimi's words, Team Suck versus Team Hero. Right on par with the rest of the movie, this climax is a senseless montage of style over substance. All jokes, no plot.
5-point buck bonus. Ha ha!
With a switcheroo and a gut punch, Mimi wins the game for Team Hero, but turns out all that bullshit was pointless because Pandora goes to kill PG anyway. As Susan holds off the Templar to protect her kids, Luke goes for a heartfelt moment and tries to get Mimi to see how fucking annoying she is. Instead of an apology or a real character moment, she instead does a down-tempo acoustic version of that awful frig off song. Luke likes it, I guess, and hands over the gem. Pandora strips Susan of her Templar powers, so she finds herself solo fighting a newly empowered Psycho Goreman, now with batteries included. PG strafes past Pandora a bunch until he's collected enough body parts to make himself a weapon. It's now time for a, quote, Masters of the Universe style sword fight, which was once again choreographed by Alex Chung for the two suit performers, Matthew Ninabar and Kristen McCulloch.
What up, Maguri?
Matthew Ninabar and Kristen McCulloch, who plays Pandora in her true form. McCulloch had an added difficulty when it came to wearing her suit. The fact that Pandora's eyes are a pair of wings, a great idea courtesy of concept artist Aurelio Mazzara, but which made it difficult for her to maneuver around safely on set. As the two of them fight, Mimi finally gets around to apologizing. Although she doesn't do it verbally, she only knocks it out in their code language. That's not good enough, Lou. Quit enabling her! During the fight, Pandora ruins PG's Hunket Boys, giving him the strength to defeat her in battle. He then gives her a warrior's death, a sight that those parents are better off not seeing. Thanks to Mimi, the unspeakable evil has triumphed, and PG agrees to spare her family as he sets out to conquer and murder. Okay, kisses for chaos. I do love him hopping through a portal and starting wholesale destruction willy-nilly. The movie ends with a news report about a giant Psycho Goreman destroying the world, though there are thankfully no clearly broadcasted kills for me to count. The credits play over a supper time scene, reminding us of Alistair's unfortunate state, with his mom, played by Kristen McCulloch, Pandora's actor, out of the suit. How many people died in PG Psycho Goreman? The answer reminds.
Then I have to film this part. All right. Thank you, Megan Norris.
Golden Chainsaw Fortuitous Kill, for the first time, will.
And that is not for the first time that's gone to two separate kills. So I'm going to have to read a lot of ADR on this one.
For the first time, we'll go to two separate kills, because I just can't decide between them. Firstly, the head thief, since I legit laughed when Luke knocked him over, and those people parts look great.
Thank you.
Secondly, Dark Scream. A warrior's death is the noblest death, and also the nastiest. I love PG's unhinged jaw. Dull Machete for lamest kill will go to the 50 body. Will go to the 50 bodies we counted on stakes, which is definitely a bio cop-out, but most every other kill was awesome. And that's it. PG's Psycho Goreman came out in 2020, and director Steven Kostanski says he plans to do more with the character in the future. I'll keep an eye out for any sequels, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching.
Oh, and then I need the trailer as well. So, okay, I did most of this shit. I guess I can go through and do the music stuff. Sounded like all the sound ups were a good volume. So let me just get these music cues in a good place. Then I've got more to do on my end. Just filming it and filming the green screen stuff for the to the numbers, getting the number graphics back, and getting the trailer from Mike. And then I'll also do the thumbnail on this live stream. Might as well. Ah, fuck. The fuck? Belial was here before the basket case kill counts. Because true fans knew him from the podcast. Edit horror movies on tablets like Kindle? I don't think you can. What new horror movie am I most excited for? I'm very curious about the new Candyman for sure. What do you look for when frame checking your work? Making sure it's right. Dylan, no. Action movies are probably my least favorite genre. I don't know. I guess rom-coms. Do, 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 do. Music info is in the description of every video, so you can always learn more about the music in the videos. Let's see. I feel like this volume is off. Thanks, A. I have not seen the 2017 Truth or Dare yet. Oh, wow, that's a long stretch. I see. Let's cut that there, stick that here. I've not watched Unholy yet.
How many people died in PG Psycho Goreman? The answer reminds me.
Okay. The music stuff's done. Cool. Man, there's probably a lot of flashing warning, light warnings in there. I might just export a version of this for my mods to look at because they're really good at catching that.
Numbers.
All right. I think that's all I can do right now. Wait. Oh, that's what is that stuff? That's all the boys.
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count.
Oh, that was a little long.
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count.
Thanks, Black Forest. I've never played Dead Space. No.
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count. I want to thank some patrons like Jonathan Beast, Camilla Jensen, Jacob Kostiv, Sam Delve, Ryan C. Barclay, Matthew Miller, and Darth Joker. Once again, thank you for being understanding this month about the reduced Kill Count release schedule. I have been working hard on those Friday the 13th recount scripts, so I can't wait to show you them. But first, don't breathe, which we'll see next week. Be good people.
All right. I think that's all I can do. Oh, no. Let me do a thumbnail. And I already know that I want it to have the cowboy outfit. Beat up, beep, 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 beep. Beat up, beep, 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 beep. Beat up, beep, 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 beep. Beat up, beep, 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 beep. Yes, thumbnail. Okay. That'd be over here. First time I watched this movie, I was like, this is the thumbnail. Right here. Stupid cowboy outfit. I love it. Doodly 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 doo doodly doo doodly 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 doo doodly doo. This is certainly another option. Okay, that should be good. So, because I want to be a cowboy, baby. Get that water, Heather. Goodies was a success. All right, so my options are this or this. This or this. I think this one. Psycho Goreman logo. Thanks, Cuckoo666. I like the pink version more than the red. So, how big is this image? Oh, this looks pretty big. Is that good? That looks pretty good, yeah. All right, that might do it. Okay, let's get rid of these little strands that are out here. Okay. Looks about good. Oh, there's some shit over here. Yeah. Okay. Psycho killer. All right. I will make the logo disappear while I fuck with this. Starting with, I guess, exposure is usually what I start with. Then a little bit of color balance. See if I want to change the color at all. How's that look compared to what it was? Yeah, a little less blue. Maybe I don't need it quite as yellow. Yeah, I'll go with this. Like to make it vivid, vibrant, and saturated. Just a pop. Cool. And then can do some curves to bring up some dim parts and make the blacks darker. Okay. And then ultimately, we will adjust the brightness on the image. Okay. Then the thing is, so that's getting blown out on his cheek there. So I'm going to grab this, make it contiguous. Let's kill that. I guess what I can do is just select this, then delete, 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 delete. This might be too much of a contrast what I'm doing, but I'll play around with it and see what works. Okay. I guess I could get rid of that little guy. That wouldn't be a big deal. Oops. Can't really see what I'm doing with this one. All right. That does make a difference. And so it's the brightness. Okay. Just making the sky not as bright in the background around the hat. Yeah, 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 yeah. What up, fattest? I am working on a thumbnail. My little thumbnail, you know. Curves. And then brightness should do it, right? Yeah, okay. Must have missed on the exposure there on those edges that aren't looking good there. Exposure, let's go back to that. Yeah. There's Josh, assuming you can hear me, there's not a video of me with Steve Dash. I just met him at a convention. Christina, I think you were there when we met Steve Dash and we got his challenge coin, but I didn't film that one, I don't think. I think that was just me chatting with him. I think I got him to sign my Blu-ray tin, and then that wasn't like part of a video. Thanks, Ham. Because I know it was at a Monster Palooza. Whew, okay. Does that look okay? Yeah, it looks okay. I can send you... Did I mention my challenge coin? That script, Josh? If I did, I can send you a picture. If not, that's no big deal. All right. Let's keep doing this. Oh, Josh, actually, that check the Texas Frightmare 2018 video. I believe he was on that Jason panel, which is when he, was very colorful with his language, we will say. There we go. That's what I was missing. Oh, and then I see this vibrance. Can you see this like blue to the gray? Yeah, gotta change that. Okay. There we go, baby. There we go. That's more like it. That's more like it. Shit. Kind of fucking up his jacket down here. Jacket. All right. How's that look? This is a little fucky. Not too much for me to worry about, though. And then this still looks a little blown out. What if I just kind of do this? Just change the color of his shirt, basically. It kind of works. I guess I should maybe also do it a little over here to... Yeah. 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 Ooh, curves does a lot. Look at that. Yeah, that does a lot. All right. Can't decide if I want this like grass back here as texture or if it's a little distracting. What's it look like without it? Like if I were to, I guess I could just do this basically. Then a little bit of this. This. Okay. All right. I think that's a pretty good thumbnail. I think we got it. Cool. All right. I think that is it for my stream. You know, maybe I'll put a little bit of more of a stroke on this logo. Yeah, I kind of like that. I feel like it works with the aesthetic. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out on this live stream. It was a pretty short one. What was it? A mere, less than 2 hours. Dope. And that was with the thumbnail. I mean, I still got more work to do on the kill count itself, but, you know, I'm close. So thank you so much for hanging out. I will see y'all around next time. This Friday is the Psycho Goreman kill count. Next Friday is the Don't Breathe kill count. And after that, we're getting back into Friday the 13th. So pack your bag for Camp Crystal Lake. That's where we going. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out, and I'll see you around. See ya. Be good people.